Hi, it's time for Jonah 1:8 in Hebrew. So go ahead and pause the video, and see if you can pronounce these words. So here's how I would pronounce it. Vayomaru, alive, Hagidana, lanu, ba'asher. What do you recognize from that line? You probably recognize a whole lot more than you might think. So pause the video and take a look. Well, here's some things I think you should recognize. So the vav is and, right? And we've seen vayomer and we've seen vayomaru before. You don't have to know it yet. We might go back through Jonah 1 once we get a critical mass to look at the verbs. But it basically means they said, and they said. Amar means to speak. The three kind of verbs tend to have three core backbone to them, and then they add stuff to it. More on that when we get to verbs, but you don't need to know this yet. And they said, now this you should be able to. If you knew everything we've done in Jonah 1 through 7 and the videos alongside of them, you should be able to tell me that this means to him. And of course, especially when you read what's right under it, right? So El means to, and then the Vav is him. We call that a pronomial suffix. And in this stretch of the Hebrew journey, we are paying a special attention to the pronouns. Pronomial suffix is a pronoun on the end of a word like this, to him. This is an objective pronoun here, the object suffix, to him. Here we have lanu. You know, la means to, right? And nu means us. So to us. Us, there, nu, is a pronomial suffix you already know. And lamed is a preposition you know. You know, ba means in as well. This is not the. I should have deleted that. At first, I asked myself, hey, Ken, is that patak a kind of hidden the? But with alepphs, if it were the, we'd get compensatory lengthening. It's a sound thing. The phonetics have caused it to go a instead of shava. But this is asher. You should know that. That's the relative pronoun, who or which. Now, you might have thought, well, hey, patak doubling, is that the? That would be a good guess. It's not correct in this particular case. This is a verb, and this is something different going on that if we go back through these verses looking at verbs, I'll tell you what it is when we get there. It's a command, actually. Na is kind of a hint. It's not really translatable. It says command, command. So na, 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 na. Hey, it's a command. Anyway, that doesn't really work, does it? Hagidana, hagidana. Anyway, na, when you see na, it's a command. It's basically giving you a clue that this is a command. So they, that is the sailors, they say to him, to Jonah, tell us what's going on here, man. Go ahead and pronounce this next line. Pause the video and say this next line. Here's how I would say it. Lami hara'ah hazot. Does that look familiar from the verse we did last, Jonah 1:7? Lanu, just saw that. Malaktaka. All right, so la is to. What do you know from this line? La is to. You might recognize the article here. We have compensatory lengthening of the article with resh. Resh doesn't do doubling. It's not in my contract. We have hey patak doubling for this the. That's perfectly normal. Kamat's hey is what gender? Feminine often, and feminine singular. Zot, we learned in the previous video in Jonah 1:7. Zot is the word for this, the feminine form of the word for this. It is these. So adjectives, you have an adjective construction here that you know. It's the evil, the this. So to who is this evil to us? You know, what's going on? Who've you ticked off? Ma, what is your occupation? Ma means what? And then malaka, I don't know, work should not be malaka. But anyway, malakataka, we've seen ka before. That's your work. What's your work? What's your occupation? Although occupation is overreading it. All right, so to whom is this evil to us? What is your work? They're interrogating him here. Okay, I've already gotten ahead of myself, and I've told you the things to review. The vav, him, the vav, the vav there for him, us with nu, asher, the relative pronoun, The 2 times. Like I said, this you might have thought that's the, and you might have thought that was a hidden the. It's not, but we have 2 thes here. How adjectives work. The adjective comes after the noun. They agree in gender, number, and definiteness. So both of these are the, both of these are feminine, both of these are singular. And then ka, the possessive suffix, your. Okay, so that's all stuff if you don't have that nailed down, stare intensely at this screen like you're looking at the sun and you go blind. No, don't look at the sun. Don't look at the sun. Bad idea. But look at this Hebrew until you've got all those little pieces we've been learning firmly in mind. What I want to add from this slide, I want you to learn these 2 question words. I want you to learn that me is who? Who's on first? No, me is who. Me is who, and ma is what. Those are 2 interrogative pronouns, I guess. No, they're not interrogative. They're interrogatives. They're question words that I want you to learn. Who and what. All right? Let's finish this verse up, shall we? So pronounce that one. Okay, here's how I pronounce it. U me ayin tavo ma ar zeka. Okay, what's the translation? And so they're asking questions like, what's your occupation? What's your job? And from where did you come? What is your land? What's your favorite color? Ka is your, again, we saw that. Eretz is land or earth. And then ka is your. Ma, we saw in the previous slide. What? Introducing the mem on the front here is from. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Okay, next line. Pronounce that. Here's how I do it. Va'e mizeh am ata. So you don't necessarily need to know this interrogative word. It's not real frequent, but it is. And what from this people are you? From what people? What's your people? Where do you come from? What's your land? What's your people group? And so this is another interrogative word here, the a. So here's the mem again on the front. And what I want you to learn is that the preposition min means from. So this is a new preposition that we're learning. It means from. Now you might be saying, well, where's the new? I don't see the new. Well, there's a little rule here that, for example, let's look here. We have mem, hirik doubling. What happens is there's a rule, and I'm going to teach you a Hebrew rule. You ready for a Hebrew rule? Nun assimilates when no vowel separates. Nun assimilates when no vowel separates. And so when the min was put on zeh, there was no vowel between the nun and the zayin, and so it got sucked into the zayin and it doubled the zayin, okay? So nun assimilates when no vowel separates. And so min can be separate, like with a makaf. You could do min like that, but min can also suck onto the word. So what happened here? Well, alepphs don't do doubling. And so the hirik became a sere by compensatory lengthening. It tried to shoot a dagesh into the aleph, and bing, it doubled the hirik. So the nun of min assimilates into the next consonant if there's no vowel between them. Nun assimilates when no vowel separates. And so this it can either be by itself, or you can have compensatory lengthening if the next letter doesn't do doubling, or it can suck in and double the nun, like, it's a chameleon. It becomes the zayin. Okay, I also want you to know from this, this atah. Atah, actually, before that, I want you to know zeh. So we saw zot. Let me go back to the previous slide. Zot here is the feminine demonstrative pronoun, feminine singular word for this. And I may do my next video as a kind of wrap-up of this words. But this is the masculine form here. So zeh is the masculine singular form of this. It's got to match the word it goes with in gender, number, and definiteness. So we had this evil, which was feminine, and now this is this people. And the word for people is masculine, so the word that goes with it is also going to be masculine as well. So from this people, what are you? And then atah, the last thing, that's a saluk, the accent on the last syllable. I want you to learn atah means you as a one masculine singular you. So Jonah is a masculine singular guy, and they're talking to the second person. Who are you, Jonah? What people are you? What is your people? So we can have your attached to the end of the word as a suffix, but it can also stand alone, especially with emphasis. So atah here is you, when a masculine singular, all by itself, standing alone. Well, there you have it. We've learned a few things in this video. We've learned the preposition min, which assimilates, that nun assimilates when no vowel separates. We've learned the independent pronoun atah. I don't have a special mnemonic for you. You are atah. I don't know. You're a tire. No, you're atah. Atah are you? I don't know. I don't know how to. You come up with something and tell me how to remember that atah means you, second masculine singular. We learned the masculine form of the word this. We had a lot of review from the previous video, but we also are solidifying these two question words. Me means who. Hebrew is a language where he is she, who is he is she, me is who, and dog is fish. I'm pronouncing the Hebrew word and then telling you the English equivalent. Hebrew is a language where who means he, and he means she, and me means who, and dog means fish. Well, this has been a little bit of Hebrew from Jonah 1:8.